You're about to hear sagacious debates from curious minds seeking complex answers to our world's greatest problems. No, but you are going to hear a lot of cuss words. A lot. You've been warned. Yeah, this episode's not going to suck like the last 100 or so. This one's going to rock.
Without
The nice guys on business.
There's a key factor we're forgetting. I don't eat beef.
Oh, well, fuck White Castle. You're not going to eat it then. Although some would question if there is any beef in White Castle.
True that.
Hey, doll, could you scare up another round for our table over here? And tell the cook this is low-grade dog food. I've had better food at the ball game. This steak still has the marks where the nice guys were hitting it.
Years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. I regret that I am unable to present my father's request to you in person, but my ship has fallen under attack and I'm afraid my mission to bring you to Alderaan has failed. I've placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory systems of this R2 unit. My father will know how to retrieve it. You must see this droid safely delivered to him on Alderaan. This is our most desperate hour. Help me, nice guys. You're my only hope.
Hey, nice guys. I have a new strategy. Let the Wookiee win. 3 days a week, they're able to hold it together. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. Adults need not apply. No interviews, lots of ranting, and they sometimes stumble onto something useful. Go figure. Now it's time for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery themselves, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Are you? You haven't been recording this whole damn time.
I know.
Strick.
I wasn't sure if changing the mic would hang it up. I should have been recording already.
You should have been recording.
Bunch of professional podcasters here, and yeah. So here's how the show started. It's we got Marjorie, and Marjorie, why don't you talk first, Marjorie?
Hello.
So that's Marjorie, and of course me, nice guy in business, Strickland. Hi, my name's Strickland, and on the other side of the microphone, we have a couple of guest hosts. And then the third one, our professional podcaster, who Doug and I professionally trained. Here is what we heard. Hey, everybody, how are you guys? And it's like, hey, Jenny, you're not on your mic. What do you mean? I'm on my mic. It's right here. It's right in front of me. I don't know what the problem is. What's going on? Jenny, you're not on your mic. I'm telling you, I'm on my mic. It's really fine. No, Jenny, you're not on your mic. It's not fine. Oh, God.
So for some reason, Zencastr is hooked up to my webcam instead of my microphone.
You know, it's funny. Mine, if I have an external webcam plugged in, it does the same for me. Somehow the webcam takes priority over the Yeti. I don't know why, but that's okay.
I don't know.
I'm just sorry that I can't see the webcam. Are you in your our direct sales dom? Do you have your whip or your flogger out and you're wearing your corset and I'm not seeing it because you're not on video here?
You can go ahead and think that. Yeah, sure. I won't say no.
This is the theater of the mind.
It is theater of the mind. Yeah, you can go ahead and imagine me in the corset. That's fine.
So welcome back. If I do imagine you too hard in the corset, I'll probably be too distracted. I won't.
Okay.
I won't do that. Anyway, Doug, if you were listening at all last week, is in Italy right now. So I had to bring on not one, but two guest hosts. That's right. It takes two people to replace Doug and two women to replace Doug. I'm sure Doug has thought about two women replacing him or doing something else to him. Never mind. We won't go there. But yeah, so we have, I'm going to let you ladies introduce yourselves. Marjorie, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Right as I'm fucking taking a sip of water, Strick. Jesus.
Water? Why are you drinking water? I could have said Jenny first. That's okay.
Well, I had a little bit of smoke, so I'm
a little
good
something
on that. I am not sober, trust me.
By the way, that is a requirement of this show, by the way. The first question that we ask, not on the interview shows, but on the if we're bringing somebody else on the fuckery episodes is, are you sober right now? And if the answer is yes, then we'll go, well, we can record again in about 30 minutes after you've had a couple drinks. Okay.
Yeah. Right. And the good thing about this is it only takes about 5 or 10 minutes to kick in. So I'm right there. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Good
So
stuff.
I'm Marjorie Alexander. I am the head of operations for Turnkey. I am also the host of A Sustainable Mind environmental podcast. I am a lot of what keeps this boat afloat because these two fuckers, believe it or not, don't do much.
A lot. You are fucking everything that keeps this boat afloat.
Damn
Jesus,
straight,
you
girl.
don't give yourself enough credit.
No, really, it's been a pleasure to know you guys. I learn a lot. I've learned a lot about just how to be, a better professional that actually works with other people and, with a team as opposed to just me on my own as an independent contractor. So my business development is way up, not just from listening to the show, but also working with you guys, and definitely looking forward to keeping that going for years to come.
I thought we were just teaching you how to mix drinks, but I'm glad.
Oh
you've picked up a few
I don't
other
know
things,
any
too.
of those. I'm terrible at mixing drinks. Terrible.
Jenny Bellinger, our direct
Yes.
sales dom.
That's me. So, yes, I am the direct sales dom. I run the podcast called Badass Direct Sales Mastery. Well, I'm the host. I am no longer the executive producer or production team of that podcast. Thank God. Turning that over to the wonderful people at Turnkey Podcast Productions, which I'm so excited about. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of drinks, yes, I am an amateur mixologist. And I mean very, very, very amateur in that I can pour Fireball and make Moscow mules and open a bottle of wine and a bottle of beer. And that's really about it.
Well, that's all you need.
That's
Yeah,
all you need.
pretty
For
much.
anyone who has ever listened to the show before, you've probably heard Jenny call in. And do you want to say hi to Doug, who's in Italy right now? Make him jealous.
Hi, Doug. I miss you.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I would tell you what I'm drinking, but I'm a little embarrassed because I chose to mix it up. I didn't want to do Fireball tonight just because I didn't feel like doing Fireball. So I mixed myself a drink, but I mixed myself a margarita.
Uh-huh.
But I'm afraid to tell you what's in it and how it is because your boyfriend is the master margarita maker.
Yeah, but he holds judgment, not me. So go ahead.
Oh, okay, good. Well, let's see. I'm using El Rimador hand-harvested blue agave tequila silver. You'd have to ask him. That may not be a terrible tequila. I honestly have no idea.
It's probably okay.
El Jimador hand-harvested 100% blue agave Hecho El Mexico tequila silver. And then I put triple sec in it, which I know, that's not his thing. And then I bought this stuff called Dr. Swami Bone Daddy's Top Shelf Margarita Mix, right?
Wow.
And when they say top shelf margarita mix, I would tend to believe them, except that when I look at the ingredients, it's water, sugar, lime juice concentrate, lemon juice concentrate, maybe not.
That's pretty much all a margarita is, though. I mean, as many margaritas as I've watched him make, his margarita is typically a good tequila. Typically, he prefers the Reposado tequilas. He uses typically filtered or pure spring water, fresh squeezed lime juice, and agave. Instead of as the sweetener. And then every once in a while, if he wants to make it a little different, he throws in some Patron Citronge, which is the orange. So kind of similar-ish to triple sec, because I think triple sec is like an orange liqueur, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, very similar, except the Patron Citronge is obviously a tequila-based, agave-based orange liqueur. So it all mixes very well together because it's tequila-based. It's all agave pretty much except for the water.
Okay.
So
Well, this is a real sugar. It's not like corn syrup or anything.
Right.
Although I'm looking at the recipe now, at least on the back of the bottle, it says mix 1 part Blanco tequila, and 2.5 parts Dr. Swami and Bone Daddy's Top Shelf Margarita Mix. I was like 1-to-1. I don't understand what this whole 2.5 ounces of mix to 1 ounce of tequila is all about. That makes no sense to me at all.
I'm having one of those moments where you realize that you're the one that wound up sitting in the middle and that you probably should have sat on the edge because the other two people are having a conversation over you.
No, it's okay. No. Sorry, we'll stop talking.
No. It's interesting. I don't want to stop you. I can't keep from laughing over here because I'm having this image in my mind. Continue, please.
I love it. No, that's great imagery.
Marjorie, when you did say you were going to join, so I invited Jenny Bellinger. It was, I knew Doug was going to be out of town. I had to plan this months and months and months ago. I invited Jenny.
Right.
That's a total lie. I invited Jenny about 30 minutes ago at our team meeting. Hey, oh shit, I got to record a podcast. Hey, Jenny, you want to join me? Yeah, sure. That's about how far we planned.
Luckily, I had the foresight and went, I know Doug's out of town. And when we knew this 3 weeks ago, when he brought it up at the team meeting, I went, I'm going to be recording a podcast that week.
And Strick basically thought, I don't have to think about that till later. And he completely forgot about it.
No, I knew it was coming.
Exactly.
And I'm not even supposed to be here. I kind of stumbled into this because how this whole thing started was so hilarious. It spilled over into the recording, and here I am.
Well, that was it, Margie, because you were saying like, maybe I'll just jump in and like listen to you guys in the background. So I'm like, I didn't think you didn't want to obligate you to feel part of the conversation, but we at the same time don't want you to feel excluded either.
Exactly.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, I got to tell you, I've got I'm looking at my sound effects and stuff here, right? We have no voicemails this week because Doug gets the voicemails and he needs to actually upload them to the Google Drive. So if he got a voicemail, which Marjorie, I think you were saying you think you left a message last week?
I think that I did. And I thought, well, I remember very distinctly having this moment thinking I should not record a voicemail because then I'll be on a podcast listening to myself and it was going to freak me out. And so I can't remember which decision I made, if I left it or if I didn't leave it, but I remember having the thought.
Well, how would you like to be actually recording a podcast that you're on and hearing your voice of a voicemail you recorded? Because I've got this drop here called Marjorie What See, and I don't know what it is. I think it may be the voicemail you left.
I don't know if that's what you think it is, but okay, go ahead.
I'm going to take a listen. I'm going to keep my hand close to the button to hit stop in case, because
everyone knows you don't edit this shit.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you very much. That's it. Exactly. That's exactly right. Okay. Let's see what this thing is. I don't even know what it is.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is the very first voicemail.
Yeah.
You do realize that everyone that listens to the Friday episodes is yelling at their device right now because you played this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was about to ask Strick. I was like, you seriously haven't heard that before? Like, because I have.
And you were so surprised, but like every time you were surprised, it was the exact same reaction as last time. So it's like, oh, totally genuine because he doesn't even remember and it's the exact same thing.
Okay, so I saw years and years and years ago, I saw Wayne Newton in Las Vegas, okay? Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, he can't sing for shit. His voice is done, but he's entertaining as fuck, right? But the funniest thing was he was telling some jokes during the show, right? And it was obvious that these are canned jokes that he tells every fucking show. And every member of his band is laughing like it's the first goddamn time they've heard it. All right. So when I saw that, I was like, Marjorie. As soon as I started playing it, I remembered that we had actually heard it before. But, you were so busy praising me. I was like, well, of course I'm going to be, appreciative of it, like it was the first time I heard it. So
there you go.
I didn't actually edit the voicemail from Jared intro, but, I still like it here. Here. Yeah. Whew. All right, that's enough. We'll just hear half of it. We don't need to hear it again. But because we don't have a
help
voice
but headbang to that. I love it.
I know, right? Like you just start throwing the hair back and forth, even if you don't have that much. It makes me want to grow my mullet back just so I can throw my hair again.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, speaking of mullets, did you see Marcel's post on Facebook?
Yeah, apparently mullets are coming back.
I don't know. Well, his daughter posted a picture of him. She found a picture of him from high school in the band room because she goes to the same high school he did. Mm-hmm. And he had one back then. And he refuses to admit that that's what it is. And so we're having this wonderful debate on Facebook on his daughter's post.
Wait a
about
minute.
Whether or not he had a mullet.
She was at her school.
Uh-huh.
And at the school found a picture from when he was in high school.
Yeah, up in the band room. And so she grabbed her phone, took a picture of him.
Wow.
And because he's up on the wall, I don't know, Wall of Fame in their band or something, and posted on Facebook. And so a bunch of us were like, oh, wow, look at that hair. Because we're not used to seeing him with hair. I've never known him with hair. He already had been shaving his head for years by the time he and I met. And so, but I had seen pictures of it before, but not this particular picture. And somebody brought up that it was a mullet. And he's like, it's not a mullet. And so I found a picture of, who's that one actor with the mullet? Oh, now it's going to kill me. I can't remember his name. He's from like the Ricky Bobby stuff. Not Will Ferrell, but the guy who was in
the other guy, right?
McBride. Danny McBride.
Oh, Danny McBride. Yeah.
That actor. Okay. So, he's got a mullet in like half of what he does, right? So I found a picture of him on Google and basically said, would everyone in this thread agree that this is a mullet? And everyone's like, yes. And then I used editing software and put the two pictures side by side and went, if this is a mullet, then this is a mullet. Mic drop. That's it. Sorry, honey. I love you. And it's a mullet.
Oh, God. I used to have a mullet. I admit it. I was definitely full on mullet. My hair was long enough in the back that I could like pull it around to the sides and touch it in the front. It was long.
Wow.
But, it was the 80s. That's what you did. That's how you wore it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty hair. It wasn't a great time for hairstyles for dudes. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so I've actually got a couple of topics, but it's interesting because when you mentioned, of course, Marcel on Facebook, I'm looking up to try to find that link on the mullet with his picture. And, surprise, surprise, I got distracted by something else that he posted, which is the war on self-checkouts shows the make work bias is alive and well, right? Like, I haven't even read the article yet, but I can see that the crux of the article is, and I've heard this comment before, and I'm curious how you guys feel about it. Self-checkout is putting people out of work. Like, people have said, don't use self-checkout because, these damn companies, they're just trying to not hire as many cashiers and save money. Mm-hmm. How do you guys feel about that?
I have no problem with using the self-checkout because there's typically someone standing there because there's always something wrong with it. And it frees up people to go do other stuff in the store, do other service-based stuff.
Customer service.
Yeah, because especially now in this day and age of the Instacart and delivery and shipped and all the other different options that are out there. Those people who were standing behind a cashier thing now are now in there grabbing people's groceries and putting them out and getting them ready for pickup or sending them out for delivery. So it's not that people are losing jobs; they're just changing.
Marjorie, and I would say that there are there are very few people at checkout to begin with. Because the complaint has always been there aren't enough cashiers. So you've got a line there anyway. So if you're going to continue to have this line that never goes down to 0 people, well, then why not have a couple people, a certain small percentage at self-checkout? It doesn't take any money out of the pocket of the retailer. Everybody's getting paid the same. So what difference does it make? Except for, the cost of the machines or whatever.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you my opinion on it. What a bunch of fucking whiny babies. All right. So when we started, I don't know if you guys, I think, are old enough to remember when there actually used to be price stickers on cans and items, right? Where the cashier would have to look at the item, enter the dollar amount and then type it, as opposed to scanning, right? Yep. Did anybody complain when the fucking barcodes came along and said, you're making cashiers' jobs far too easy? If people can check out this quickly, you're not going to have to hire as many cashiers because people check out so fast that you won't have to hire as many people. Oh my God. This is such fucking whiny bullshit. I'm sorry. The job of a public company is to make a fucking profit. Okay. Sure. I'm sorry. It's such bullshit. When we have robots on the lines making cars, right? Are people complaining? I mean, I guess they did for a little while, but are people complaining that, hey, you're not paying that auto worker $50 an hour anymore to put a bolt in a door? You're knocking him out of a job. I mean, sure, the robot does it 5 times as fast and 100 times more accurately, so we don't have problems with returns. But come on, you're putting a guy out of a job, and he's only making $50 an hour working the line at GM with his union behind him. I mean, it's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. It's so whiny. Do you know what happened to companies that used to make typewriters? They're either out of business.
I don't know.
Or they're either out of business. Right. Exactly. Do you know what IBM stands for International Business Machines. And do you know what they made when they first started? Typewriters and cash registers. And you know why they don't make typewriters anymore? Because nobody's fucking buying them. Nope. So this is a company that knows what they're doing because they realized when people didn't want typewriters anymore, they started making computers. And then when they realized that making personal computers, there just wasn't enough profit in it because it was too competitive, they started making software. And now they are software business consultants. And that's why, I don't know how many years they've been around. I mean, at least 60, 70, 80 years or something, right? Yeah. This is why International Business Machines is still called Big Blue. And they are still like fucking at the top of their game because they change.
Yeah.
I hate fucking whiners. I'm sorry. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Well,
can I tell you how I really feel now?
Right. Well, the psychology of humans is to naturally resist change because the way things are, the status quo is safe. Even if it's not comfortable, it's safe. It's comfortable. And so that's why anytime or most times when you try and suggest change or create change, the initial reaction in every human body is to say no. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. No, because that's different. I don't know how that works. I don't know how to do that. People have to literally work themselves through that process. And that's why sometimes it takes 6, 7, 8 marketing touches before someone's willing to switch brands of a product.
True. Good point.
It's just a psychology thing. So give them a little bit of time and they'll get over the whole self-checkout thing.
I love it. Okay. Are we ready to spin the wheel? I don't think we spun the wheel in a couple of weeks, but just because I knew the two of you were coming on tonight, I dusted off the wheel. I oiled it up. I cleaned it up. It's all like, I put the topics on it. I mean, there's only like 3 topics, but I still put them on there because Doug's not here to provide like 27 topics. I only have 3, right. But I have a couple. So, I mean, it's all good.
Sounds good.
You ready?
Yep. Bring it. That sounds so good.
Oh, it sounds so nice, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. This is a timely topic. I found a band.
You did?
Okay.
I found a
Awesome.
band. So for those of you who have been listening or not listening, I really don't give a shit. I have been in Austin for a little over a year, and I've been looking for a band. And I played in a wedding band in Baltimore, and I played guitar. I really want to get back into singing more. I've auditioned for a couple of bands, and things just haven't worked out. There were one or two that I auditioned with for a while, and it kind of fell apart, and one or two others that I auditioned with, and I realized they sucked, and I left. So earlier in the week, I auditioned for a band that actually planning on doing more like weddings and corporate and some bars, but like a mix of fun party rock stuff and current music, right? So this guy, Brian, he's a drummer, and he's currently playing in a wedding band, but it's a wedding band that's breaking up, right? But he wants to put another one together because he has some leads and stuff. He has a guitar player already. And so the other night he auditioned a female vocalist, and he brought me in also to audition on vocals and guitar, right? So we picked like 8 songs between the two of us, 4 for me and 4 for the girl. And I get to the audition, right? And this female vocalist is a girl that I know from a band in Baltimore.
Shut up.
Right? It's crazy. She played, so the band that I played with in Baltimore for Washington Talent Agency, she sang in the band Onyx, which was the flagship band at the same agency. So I knew her from there. She and her husband just moved here in October. Right?
No way.
Wow.
So like total coincidence, like we see each other, we hang out, right? So we do the audition, we get through 8 songs, right? And they were all like, perfect, great. She sounds great. I sounded great. All good, right? And we were like, what else do you want to try? It was like, you guys know this? Oh yeah, sure, let's try it, right? In 2 hours, we got through like 25 songs. And we were like, oh yeah, this is good. This is the shit, right? So finally I found a band that's a good fit. And I think the way that they're professionals, and it's fun music, and we're doing a little bit of everything, and the guy's got connections already, and we should be playing out by like mid-April or something, I think. So I'm very excited about that because I'm so hungry to play again.
So it's
awesome.
a 3-piece?
Yeah. What's that, Marjorie?
It's a 3-piece?
It's going to be a 4-piece. So we have a guitar player, like a guy who plays lead guitar, and then Chris, who's the singer, Brian, who's the drummer, and I'm going to be playing more bass and then some guitar. Okay. But I'm really a rhythm guitar player anyway, so it's going to be a 4-piece.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
that
really
is
cool.
So awesome.
So
Yay, congratulations. Excited. I know you've been like searching really hard on that.
Oh, dying. I've got to play again. I'm very hungry to play. It's in my blood. It's my happy place. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Super cool.
All right. So we're ready to spin the wheel for another topic?
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, perfect. Speaking of happy places, this topic is I'm heading back to Vegas again.
Surprise, surprise.
So I'm trying to think of the last time I went to Vegas. It was probably August, I think. Yeah. I think I was there for a couple of days in August. And for those of you who know me, like for a while when I was working at Washington Talent, I would go at least 2 or 3 times a year or more because the owner of the company really loved Vegas and he went all the time. And he flew so much that I had a companion pass. So anytime he went, I could go with him for free. It was like, yeah, sure.
Nice.
For free. Sure. What the hell? So it's been since August, which is like 5 months for me, which is a really damn long time. And I just want to go back. I recently won a hoodie from Evil Pie. I don't know if anybody's following on Facebook. I can't remember if I've mentioned.
Way back in the day.
Yeah. I can't remember if I mentioned on the podcast or not. So there's a pizza place called Evil Pie, but it's like EVEL, like Evil Knievel. Right?
Yeah, you guys just talked about it. I think last Friday or the
Did
Friday
we talk
before?
about it?
Maybe just briefly during because we also were talking about the Heart Attack Grill and
oh yeah, that's what we got to talk about. I'm going to spin the wheel again, like when we finish this, but there's only one more topic, and it's Jenny's trip to Vegas. So out of the 3 topics, 2 of them are about Vegas. So yeah,
bring it.
So anyway, Evil Pie, where I put something in. I tagged them like they had a contest. They were giving away like a hoodie and a hat and a t-shirt. And if you tag them on Instagram, and I won, and they sent me this hoodie and it's really cool. So it just started making me think about them. They're downtown Las Vegas, like old school on Fremont Street. And the pizza's really, really fucking good. But it's so funny because I was there, I think they've been open 2 years, 3 years, maybe. I was actually there the first week they were open. Right? Did you see it while you were there?
No, I don't think we went that far down. I think Heart Attack Grill was pretty much about as far as we went on Fremont. So if it's down that direction, that's about as far as we got on Fremont.
That's so funny because it's like a block from Heart Attack Grill. I mean, you had to go like one more block and you would have seen it. Anyway, outside now, they've got like a neon sign and a big sign and like all these stickers on the windows. It's like really, really cool. Got a lot of character, right? But the day that they opened, I mean, I was there like the week they opened, right? So it was like a banner outside, but it was obviously a Tyvek banner above the door. That it was a really windy day. Later in the day, the banner half fell down because the wind blew so much. And they had 2 bikes outside that were like banana handlebar, crappy ass bikes from the 70s in a bike rack, right? It was really funny. And it was funny because I took a picture of it. I think I was telling the story that it's $5 for a slice and a beer, but I told this story last week.
Yeah.
And Marjorie, you didn't hear it because you don't listen to the show, but it's okay. It's all right.
I think I listen to the show more than you think.
I think so too. And I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So, but anyway, so I posted a picture on Instagram like, hey, this is what it looked like 3 years ago when I was there. And now this is what it looks like now. It's really cool. So anyway, I started thinking, I'm like, fuck, I got to get back there and I got to go again. And there's a Cirque show. I've seen a lot of Cirque shows because I've been a lot of times, but there's one that I've never seen called MJ1, which is like Cirque. Cirque version of like a Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. And I've heard amazing things about it. And I've heard that the ticket sales are starting to lag a little bit. It's been around for 5 or 6, 7 years. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't want to miss this show. I've heard it's really good. So I'm going back end of March to Vegas again. Very excited.
Nice. That's
and I may have to
cool.
go to Heart Attack Grill.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't even need to spin the wheel. So let's get to Jenny. You tell us about your time in Vegas because you and Marcel were just recently in Vegas.
Yeah, so we went there mostly for business because he's got a second business that he's running, and they were having a conference in Vegas, and we showed up a couple days early because he had never been to Vegas, and I've been to Vegas I think 5 times before, but I was also always there for business, but I would always fly in like the night before, do my conference for 3 days, and then fly out the next morning. So I had rarely seen much around Vegas myself. So we came in a couple days early. We stayed a couple days after, plus the Super Bowl. It was Super Bowl weekend. So that was really kind of fun because half the people were walking around in one team's stuff and the other half were walking around the other team's stuff because everybody was betting on the Super Bowl that weekend. But we got to really go check things out. And so one of the things that I said we had to do was go check out Fremont Street because I had been there once before, I think on like a Friday or Saturday night. So it was crazy busy. And I was like, it'd be kind of interesting to see what it's like during the day. So we went on like a Thursday and it was really nice getting to walk around and like actually be able to see things without being shoulder to shoulder jostled with all the other people who were there. And we got to check out all the stuff and see the cool, because not everybody knows about Fremont Street, that it's got the light up ceiling.
Yeah, like the whole block or 2 block section. It's the light show above Fremont. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's a zip line that goes from one end to the other, which we still haven't done yet, but that'll be next time we go. And we happened upon the Heart Attack Grill. And I was like, if for nothing else, we need to go in because there are people sitting inside wearing hospital gowns. This is amusing. Mm-hmm. So we went in and did it. And it was really kind of fun. And, the shtick is that the burgers are so fatty and so big that you're going to die before you finish them. So you have to pay up front. You have to pay in cash. If you don't finish your burger, you get a spanking from the nurse or doctor of your choice who's on staff. And they don't fuck around with the spankings.
You know this firsthand?
No, because I was a good girl and ate my whole burger once I saw someone getting spanked. because they literally have a rack for someone to hold on to. Like it's got a thing where they can bend over at the waist and hold on. And the first guy who got his spanking while we were there, the nurse brought out a clear acrylic paddle that had holes drilled into it. So it almost whistled as she spanked him, and he had to get 3 swats. I don't know why.
How is it determined how many swats you get?
I don't know. All I know is once I saw that and heard the thwack as it hit his rear end, because he was literally 6 feet away from me when this happened. I was like, oh, I don't care how stuffed I am. I'm eating this whole fucking burger. I am not doing that. I'm the Dom. I am not into sadomasochism. No.
You are the sender, not the receiver, right?
Yeah. If somebody wants it, I can spank, but no, I'm not into that. And then the second guy who got a spanking while we were there, she brought out a paddle that had leather, and it was like leather folded over. So again, it made a lot of noise when the leather hit itself, but I don't know that it was as painful as the acrylic with the holes drilled in it. So yeah, if you go to the Heart Attack Grill, they are really good burgers. It was good fries. I enjoyed the food. The whole atmosphere is hilarious. They have music videos that they have made over with their nurses and the guy who I guess started the Heart Attack Grill dressed as a doctor.
I forgot that. That's right.
Oh my God. It's the funniest thing. Because they just have it's just amusing. These music videos are playing, and it's music that you know, but it's with all their staff dressed up as nurses and doctors in the video.
And by the way, sexy nurses and sexy doctors. That's the important part.
Absolutely. And so our server, we happened to get a doctor, so I was very happy about that. And he was super good looking. He had a man bun, but I didn't hold it against him. Man buns are my thing. A dude shouldn't have hair longer than mine. That's a whole other topic. But he was good looking, and it was a good time. I really enjoyed the Heart Attack Grill. And then we attended the business conference, and then I, for the first time in probably a decade, got the chance to actually sit and watch the entire Super Bowl from start to finish. I wasn't cooking, I wasn't cleaning, I wasn't watching kids, I wasn't doing any of that. I got to actually, because we just hung out in our hotel room and watched the Super Bowl. Nice. Ordered in wings from, I can't remember if it was Uber Eats or DoorDash or something like that. And, had a bottle of wine, a bottle of Fireball. And yes, we drank them both before we left because we couldn't bring them on the plane.
Which is why you can't let them go to waste.
Well, no. And that's also why there is video of me singing karaoke in Las Vegas. And I am, half a bottle of Fireball in at that point.
Okay, so I want to back up for a minute. So when you go to Heart Attack Grill, if you have to get spanked, you get to choose which nurse or doctor spanks you?
Yes.
You see, I was there once, like many years ago by myself, and I definitely did not want to get spanked, but I didn't know I could choose.
You can choose. Yeah. So, but I was like, once I figured out that, they're getting spanked because they didn't eat their burger. Oh, then I'm going to eat my burger. I will quit eating. I will quit eating fries if it means that I'm not going to get my ass beat.
Well, it was funny because again, the one time I was there, I remember thinking, I'm looking at the burger. I'm like, I'm pretty hungry. I'll order a double, right? And I get it. And it's freaking huge.
They're huge.
Right? Because I'm thinking a double is like, 2 quarter-pound patties, right? So it's like a half pound, right?
Yeah.
I think each patty was like a third to a half a pound. I think it was like a full pound burger. And I'm looking at it going, I don't think I can finish it, but I don't want to fucking not finish it.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, okay, either way, I'm walking out of here in pain. So it's either going to be, I'm going to be feeling way too full, or I'm going to be waddling out of here because my butt hurts so bad. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll go with a little too full, but that I'm also very glad that I only got a single, because once I saw they were half-pound burgers, I was like, oh, no, I can't. I'm doing a single. No. Yeah, but I did get the 5 slices of bacon.
Yeah, and they were good because I had fries too, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta eat all this shit.
No, you don't have to eat the fries, just the burger.
Good to know.
You don't have to completely clear your basket, but you do have to eat the burger. If you leave any of the burger, you will get spanked.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
I
yeah.
also had a shot that was like out of a syringe or something, if I remember correctly. I think they
Probably.
poured it down my throat. I can't remember.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They probably had something like that. I didn't order it because it was the middle of a day on Thursday, and I was like, I'm not ready to start day drinking yet. So, I took my time because, evidently I needed to save up all my alcohol for the last night that I was in town. Because,
Nice.
oh my God, yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I ended up going out and singing karaoke while we were there because you've met Scott Conway now, yeah?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. So
I was with him
happened-
last weekend at the JVology.
Exactly. Yeah. I saw pictures from both of you guys and I'm like, wait, they're in the same room? Shit. Oh my God. All my favorite people are in Las Vegas right now.
I know, and you weren't there.
Anyway, no,
San
I missed
Diego.
it.
We were in San Diego.
Yes, exactly. So, but Scott Conway saw that we were in Vegas and he was going to be in Vegas starting, he flew in the day before we left. So we said, well, depending on when you get in, let's go do something Sunday night and then definitely do brunch Monday morning before we fly out because we had an afternoon flight. So we knew we'd have enough time to do brunch before we left. And so he ended up, because he had a vehicle, he ended up taking us because he's been to Vegas many, 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 many times. And he ended up taking us down to one end of the strip and let us do the drive through the whole strip because neither one of us had ever done that before. And that was cool and got to see the whole Vegas sign. And we stopped and took pictures there. The Welcome to Vegas, the infamous now logo for Vegas. And and then he was like, so what do you want to do while you're here? And I said, well, I want to go sing karaoke because I had gotten it in my head that I want to be able to say, I sang in Vegas.
Okay.
No exposition necessary.
Right.
In one of those,
I sang in Vegas.
Yeah. In one of those like business icebreaker type things. Tell us something about you that nobody knows. Well, I sang in Vegas. They don't have to know it was karaoke.
Did you go to, I'm guessing you went to Ellis Island?
No, ended up at Cat's Meow on Fremont.
There's a Cat's Meow on Fremont?
It's upstairs.
When did that get there?
I don't know. It's pretty much, I think, on the same block as Heart Attack Grill.
Oh, shit.
Or it's really close by. Yeah. So on Thursday, I saw a sign that said, karaoke every day at Cat's Meow. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And kind of tucked that in the back of my head. And I think over time that percolated and turned into, I want to be a Vegas singer. And that's where we ended up because that's the one place I knew they had karaoke every night of the week, even on Sunday in Las Vegas. So,
oh my God. Because Cat's Meow it's a chain. There's one in New Orleans, and I actually worked at one in Austin. Jesus, I mean, many years ago. I'm not going to say how many years ago. But Ellis Island is a place that does karaoke 7 days a week, and it's a total dive bar, but it's like a block from the Hard Rock where you stayed.
Oh, see, that would have been a lot closer, but that's okay.
It's okay.
That's
okay.
Funny,
I didn't realize there's one on Fremont. That's cool.
There's one on Fremont. So yeah, if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, you can go if you want to see video because it got posted. I don't remember posting it, but it got posted.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it was a really fun time. Really enjoyed myself. It was a well needed vacation because 4 out of the 6 days we were there, we were able to do whatever we wanted, which was nice. So it was cool. It was a really good trip.
Marjorie, you are, have you ever been to Vegas? You are quiet.
I'm super quiet over here because I'm actually on mute. I'm actually working.
Oh, well.
I figure after I announced that I actually wasn't supposed to be here, somehow in the back of my mind, I gave myself permission to just shut up. I didn't realize it until 5 minutes after. I was like, oh, I'll just go on mute now.
Well, you of course have permission to not say anything, but
I have to do these things today.
Don't feel like
if I don't do them now, I have to stay up later. You know what I'm saying? It's like 8 p.m. here. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That makes sense. Yeah,
it's even later where you are. No, yeah. I've been to Vegas. Man, the first time I went to Vegas, I can't remember what I was there for. I feel like it was a 10 or 15 year reunion of Semester at Sea. I did Semester at Sea once in college, and we all kind of have been pretty close since then, 2005. Anyway, But my dad got remarried and moved in with his now wife who lives in Vegas. So Vegas is now forever ruined for me because I'm always there visiting family. It's always fucking hot. It's very uncomfortable. My dad, I talked to him the other day. He's like, every year around this time, I have terrible allergies. Nothing helps. He hasn't found anything that helps. It's just all bad things. You know, I've seen one Cirque show. I think I saw one magic show. You go to a couple of restaurants, you fucking walk around, but like, I don't gamble. So
yeah, me
I
neither.
just don't really, the magic is gone, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I still love Vegas. I don't gamble all that much, and I'd be totally fine going to Vegas, and I'm sure I've had Vegas trips where I didn't gamble at all. Probably not. I got trips where I didn't gamble much. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But definitely, I still like it. But you're right. It's not like as crazy magical as it used to be, but I'm still looking forward to it.
Maybe it's just because I don't have any friends who will ever go with me. So whenever I go, I'm obligated, not because I'm going for fun. Because the other times when I go, I'm also going for business. I've only been for fun maybe once.
Oh,
Audrey,
gotcha.
that changes it. The people that you're hanging out with. Oh my God. That makes or breaks it. That totally changes things. Yeah, you should come and like, hey, I'm going to be there end of the month. You know, I know you're in LA. It's like hop, skip, and a jump. It's like a $50 flight. You know, you're welcome.
Well, I
to join
was
us.
thinking of going there actually because I need to hop, skip, and jump to Atlanta at the end of the month, and my aunt's also going to be there visiting, so we can talk. But
yeah, last weekend.
But it's so expensive, Strick.
It can.
I have to like drop $1,000 on the whole damn thing.
You can do it cheap. I mean, I'm doing it like relatively cheap, but yeah, it can get expensive. I know what you mean.
Airbnb, you know, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Go try different
Stay at
things.
the dive hotels, you know, and eat at the White Castle, and it's all good.
Don't eat at the White Castle. Go to the In-N-Out.
You know, it's funny.
I don't know if I've ever been to a White Castle.
Oh, don't do it.
Yeah, everybody talks about how terrible it is, but it's one of those things that like.
So
Marjorie,
here's the thing.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the what do they call that?
People say that it smells like sweat and other non-edible things. Like it's not appetizing.
The first time I ever had White Castle, I was drunk off my ass coming home. Coming home from a club, and I was like, "This is the best ever. This is amazing." Because you know, when you're that drunk, it's like amazing food, right?
Yeah.
And then I went back when I was sober. Couldn't even walk in the building because of the smell. I was like, can't do it. And I ended up marrying a guy who absolutely loves White Castle, sober, drunk, whatever. He doesn't care. And so we went every once in a while when I felt like I should acquiesce because we hadn't been in a while and he hadn't gotten a choice on a restaurant in a while or something. And we'd go and I'd eat there. And again, it's not terrible food. It's what it does to you afterwards. There's a reason why they're called belly bombers. It tears me up. And I now associate the smell with the feeling. And I can't do it unless I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I just can't do it because then I make really bad decisions when I'm drunk. Because who doesn't?
Well, Marjorie, my opinion of White Castle. So White Castle, it's sliders, right? It's like little baby burgers, right? But if you can imagine like a slider, right? But like a steamed bun where you put it in your mouth and it just kind of melts and dissolves in your mouth.
Well, okay. Let me put this out there. I forgot. There's a key factor we're forgetting. I don't eat beef.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck White Castle.
Then you definitely don't want to do
so,
that.
You definitely.
I
Although some would question if there is any beef in White Castle.
True that.
Beef
they
or
do
beef
have chicken
substitutes.
there. They do have chicken rings.
You're right. You're
not
right.
Chicken nuggets, chicken rings at White Castle. Somehow they instead of making
do they have
chunks
White
of-
Castles in New Jersey? Because I might have been now that you say that.
I think they might have. Maybe they had. Crystal's in the South. That's the same thing.
Yeah, Crystal's in the South. It might have been White Castle in New Jersey. I feel like they're
maybe
probably there.
I dated a girl from Jersey once, and it just seems like it'd be on the list of shitty places we would go through the drive-through. So
didn't we all date a girl from Jersey once? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh my God. So true.
Anyway, we are actually 47 minutes in, and I can't believe I was worried that like we wouldn't have anything to talk about. And here we are 47 minutes in, and I think we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, probably. I mean, well, you guys set the bar really low, so for us to come in here and fill the space with something a little bit better is not that damn difficult.
Damn. I'm not going to tell Doug you said that. Yeah.
What? He might yell at me for insulting. Yeah. He's a little touchy about that stuff, I suppose.
You know, if you give him 100 compliments but say one thing like that, he'll just never let you forget the one thing.
Never ever.
Really?
Never ever.
He's like that? Yeah. I've never had that issue.
Words of affirmation are his thing. So if you say anything that's not affirming, he holds on to that. So that's why I make sure that even though I love the nice guys
does he tell you
equally, yeah, he'll give you crap about it. Yeah,
because he's never done that with me. Because I've been around JJ. JJ and I are very good friends. We spend a lot of time together. I've said things to him, and she'll give me this look. Words of affirmation, Margie. I'm just like, whatever. This is me. I mean, I'm not being an asshole to you. It's not personal. This is me. Like, I'm this way to everybody. Suck it up. He knows me, so he's not going to be put off by that, and he doesn't hold any of that against me unless he's not saying it, because I'm JJ's friend, so I'm like, on the do not disturb list.
Maybe that's possible. I don't know.
He's going to listen to this, and he's going to be like, what the fuck? I thought we were cool, Marjorie. Jesus.
Well, that'd be great, but he ain't going to listen to it. And by the way, Jenny, you don't have to say that you like both of us the same because you're worried that he's listening, because he's not listening. You can tell.
You're right. He's not listening.
You like.
But that's where the whole "bye, Doug" thing came from, was because I knew, like, I've known from day one. As soon as I learned the love languages, I started picking up for most people fairly quickly who is a words of affirmation person, because you can just tell when you say something nice about them, they literally light up, right? Other people, if they're not words of affirmation, thanks, I guess, their reactions, like whatever. But for him, he lit up with that. So I've always known that. So the whole "bye, Doug" thing started with, okay, if I've said something nice about Strick, I need to end it and make sure that it ends with, him knowing, "Bye, Doug." He's got to, it just strokes his ego. And notice the one time I forget to do it, because, by the way, the time I forgot to do it, I was maybe a little tipsy from drinking Fireball. He was like, "Where's my "bye, Doug"? Like he looks forward to it, right?
Yeah.
So I gotta.
You just care. Maybe I'm 2 years into this, and I think I'm probably done stroking Doug's ego, is probably what it is. And you're right, Strick. He's not going to be fucking listening, so I can say whatever I want, because it'll never get back to him, because nobody cares enough to repeat it. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm just a fly on the wall. Hi, guys. Bye, guys.
I stopped stroking Doug when he moved to LA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think
long
we need to wrap
commute,
it up. Would the two of you like together to do the closing line?
Sure.
I don't remember.
Oh my God, Marjorie, are you kidding me? And you tell me you listen more often than I think you do.
Steve O'Brien, take us out of here.
For the nice guys on business, and in accordance with my court-mandated community service, I'm Steve O'Brien. Only 27 more voiceovers to go, and then maybe they'll let me leave the state and take this ankle bracelet off.
Steve O'Brien, take us out of here.
There you go. There you go.
See, and you guys fucking fucked it up because he stepped on my line.
Well, we didn't do it together because I was making sure you were saying the right words in the right order.
You think that we could actually say it at the same time and like do it right the first time?
Oh, I'm not saying first time, but we can try.
I'm gonna be lagging behind because I'm high, so
okay.
Don't expect this to be like in sync.
That's okay. We're not in sync. We're probably closer to Spice Girls.
what you want. No, tell me what you want. What I really want. I want to.
We'll link the Spice Girls episode in the show notes.
Oh my god!
So you can go back and listen because that was a good episode.
Strick with the Spice Girls. That's the title, I think. That's the show title. You think?
No, I don't remember.
Probably.
I wasn't listening. Oh, wait, no, I was listening at that point. Ugh, you guys have wasted
No,
so
I'm
much
saying
of
that's
my
what the
time. I will never get these hours back.
Right? I know. That's what the title of Friday's show will be. Strick is
And the
joined by the
Spice
Spice Girls.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
Which one are each of you then?
Scary, obviously.
Obviously.
I mean, look at me.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to go with Ginger Spice because I got the curly hair, the red
You got the
hair,
ginger.
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll be baby. Okay. I'm good with that. Okay.
Oh my god, I want to see you in pigtails now.
Right. Okay.
Not really.
So can we try the ending again now then? Together,
Sure.
Like maybe.
All right, ready, Marjorie?
I'm sorry. What was the line again? I forgot.
Yeah.
What?
All right, you ready? Steve O'Brien, take us out of here.
Are you want me to count it down or something? I mean, you just did it by yourself, Jenny. You gave her no warning whatsoever. Do you?
I was pausing and
That wasn't
This
a
is
countdown.
not. I'm
Do a
excluding
countdown.
myself. This is not going to work.
You think not even if we count it down?
I have to write them down. I can't remember.
You got to write 6 words down.
Yes, Strick.
she's writing right now. It's all good.
No, I'm not writing. I'm like, are you
okay,
guys
because
gonna
she's not going to
wait
do
for me
it.
or no, I'm not going to do it.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to do it?
Well, this is all going to be an Easter egg anyway, because I'm going to cut the end of the episode as soon as Jenny said the first Steve O'Brien take us out of here.
Nice.
So we
Okay,
don't
that
actually
works.
have to say it again if we don't really want to.
No, let's not. It'll just make the Easter egg so much more fun if it just stops.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it'd be good. Okay. Miss you, Doug.
Right now, you're probably thinking, boy, am I glad I left the kids at home for this episode. Am I the only one that can hear that? There's the fucking mail truck always has no muffler on it. Drives me crazy. It's one of the few sounds that can penetrate my fortress of solitude here. And the mail lady, she's a sweetheart too. It's not her fault. Not at all. It's the U.S. fucking government's fault. Ah, damn it. That drives me crazy. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.